Let's talk about fear. We all have it. But what if the biggest things holding you back in life aren't really out there in the world, but are actually inside your own head? What if you've built a kind of prison for yourself, brick by brick, with your own thoughts? That's exactly what we're going to break down. This isn't some new idea. The Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca figured this out almost 2,000 years ago. It's so true, right? The stuff we build up in our minds, the worst-case scenarios we play on a loop, they often cause us way more pain than the thing we're actually afraid of. Our imagination can be our own worst enemy. And this is really the core of it. Fear creates these invisible walls all around you. It tells you which job you can't apply for, who you shouldn't talk to, what risks are just too risky. It literally shrinks your world down to this tiny, safe zone that, ironically, doesn't feel very free at all. Just let that sink in for a second. We're always looking for external reasons why we're stuck. But what if the prison isn't a place? What if it's a state of mind we carry with us everywhere? A prison where you're not just the inmate, you're also the warden holding the keys. Okay, so if this prison is mental, what are its bars actually made of? Let's take a look at how we build this thing in the first place. This is where it gets really specific. These are the building blocks of our mental prisons. We start with limiting beliefs, the stories we tell ourselves about what we can and can't do. Then comes self-sabotage, which is our brain's weird way of making sure those negative stories come true. We pile on self-imposed pressure, setting impossible standards, and of course the big one, the fear of failure, which can paralyze us so we don't even try. There's this classic story that just perfectly explains this. A baby elephant is tied to a small post with a rope. It tries to break free, but it can't. It's not strong enough. So it learns, I can't break this rope. Years later, it's a massive, powerful adult that could rip the post out of the ground without even trying. But it doesn't. Why? Because the belief, I can't break this rope, is still stuck in its head. The rope isn't holding it back anymore. The memory of the rope is. How many old ropes are we still tied to? And you know what? Psychologists actually have a name for this. Learned helplessness. It's what happens when we fail a few times and then just give up. We internalize the idea that trying is useless, so we stop looking for a way out. We surrender our own power even when a solution is staring us right in the face. Now, I know this might sound a little bleak, but here's the good news. If we're the ones who built the prison, that means we also hold the blueprint for escape. And lucky for us, it's a really, really old blueprint. Let's talk about stoicism. Now, forget the modern idea of a stoic as someone who's just emotionless and tough. That's not it at all. Back in ancient Greece, Stoic philosophers were more like physicians of the soul. They weren't just thinking about big ideas. They were creating a practical, hands-on toolkit for how to live a good life. And that toolkit is built on 3 really powerful pillars. First up, logic, learning how to see things clearly without all the drama our emotions add. Second, acceptance, just dealing with reality as it is, not how you wish it was. And third, this one is the game changer, control. Getting crystal clear on what you can actually control and what you absolutely cannot. The philosopher Epictetus laid it out perfectly. What other people think, what happens in the world, whether it rains or shines, ultimately not in our control. But our own thoughts, our choices, our actions, yeah, those are 100% ours. That's where all our power is. So how do we actually use this ancient wisdom to build some real-world resilience today? This is where philosophy stops being theoretical and becomes a training program for your mind. And get this isn't just some old, dusty philosophy. Modern psychology has completely caught up. Aaron T. Beck, who's basically the father of cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, one of the most effective therapies out there, he directly credits the Stoics. These ancient ideas are literally the foundation of modern mental health treatment. How cool is that? So here's what that looks like in action. It's a technique called cognitive restructuring. You take a big, overwhelming thought like, this job is destroying me. That feels pretty helpless, right? But then you apply some Stoic logic and reframe it. This job is challenging, but I have tools to handle it. See that? You go from being a victim to being in control. Here is an exercise inspired by Seneca that you can do right now. It's called fear setting. Step 1, define your fear. What's the absolute worst-case scenario? Don't run from it, look it right in the eye. Step 2, what could you do to prevent that from happening? Brainstorm it. Step 3, if the worst did happen, how would you get back on your feet? By doing this, you're not just worrying, you're making a plan. I mean, this is exactly what elite performers do. Think about firefighters, soldiers, surgeons. They don't just hope things go well. They train constantly for chaos. They prepare for the worst so that when it happens, they don't panic. They act. Preparation literally robs fear of its power over you.
So we've seen the prison, we've looked at the escape plan. The last piece of the puzzle is a choice. Your choice.
Let's go back to Epictetus one more time for this. This is the whole thing in a nutshell. It's not the thing that upsets us, it's our opinion about the thing. Losing your job isn't what causes suffering. It's the story you tell yourself that it's a catastrophe that does. This idea is the master key to the prison door because it means the power to change how you feel is entirely within you. But here's the catch. You can't just think your way out of this prison. You have to act your way out. Every single small step you take, every time you do something even though you're scared, you prove to yourself that the monster in your head is just a shadow. Action makes the phantom disappear. And so, we land here with this question. All this wisdom, from ancient philosophy to modern psychology, points to one thing. The prison was never actually locked. The bars were just beliefs, not real barriers. The choice to stay inside or to walk out into the open has always been yours. So, what are you going to do?